Have you ever sensed when a storm is coming? Not the kind you see in the sky, but the kind that crashes into reputations, careers, and entire lives? Something hidden has been unraveling behind closed court doors, and Blake Lively may have finally stepped into the one trap she cannot escape. For months, she's fought, pushed, and twisted narratives. But now, something chilling has shifted. The silence is loud. The evidence she swore she had, it's vanished. The power she once flaunted, it's slipping right through her fingers. And tonight, you're about to discover how Justin Baldoni and his team delivered a devastating legal blow that may have sealed her fate. Blake Lively can no longer throw around random subpoenas to anyone she pleases unless she first convinces the court that she has good cause. Why? Because the time has run out. Every subpoena she issued was required to be answered by the 15th. That deadline has passed. And now, she has until Friday, only 2 days left, to file motions to compel any of the outstanding subpoenas that have not been answered. In other words, if she wants more documents, she must go crawling to the court, plead her case, and ask permission. But she cannot simply fire off new subpoenas like before. The window has slammed shut. And here's the part no one can ignore. Despite Blake Lively subpoenaing 107 content creators, not a single one, not one, gave her the evidence she desperately needed. Brian Friedman's firm, through Kevin Fritz, told the court that nothing came back proving Friedman orchestrated some retaliation campaign, nor that he paid creators to make videos about her. Zero. All those subpoenas, all that effort, all that money, wasted. Do you remember the bold declarations her team made back in February, March, June, July? They claimed they had overwhelming evidence. They bragged about the trial. They promised the truth would explode in the courtroom. But where is it? Where are those mountains of proof? Months ago, their narrative shouted sexual harassment case. Yet strangely, we haven't heard Blake mention that again in a long time. The truth surfaced in the very text messages Blake herself dumped on the docket. The only complaint she made to Sony, that Justin Baldoni commented an outfit Lily was wearing looked sexy, an outfit Blake herself told him to encourage Lily to wear. That's it. That's what she reported to HR. The so-called sexual harassment vanished into a single offhand remark, and even that was orchestrated by Blake's own design. And yet, the charade continued. Blake issued interviews where she laughed about lying to journalists because, in her words, they can't fact-check. She admitted, proudly, to being manipulative, vengeful, even petty. She once blamed Ryan for making ugly cookies because she was angry he went out of town. These are not just jokes. When someone tells you who they are, you believe them. And Blake has shown the world who she is. But now, the tables have turned. Thanks to Perez Hilton pointing out to the judge how abusive Blake's docket filings had become, how embarrassing they were to the court itself, the judge stepped in. With subpoena deadlines passed and document production closed, Blake cannot terrorize anyone else with her paper weapons. For someone who almost daily flooded the docket with PR stunts disguised as filings, the silence is deafening. Since last Friday, nothing. Think about that. Blake Lively has rarely gone a single day without filing something, using the docket as her own press machine. And yet now, after stern orders from the judge, orders that forced her to redact improperly filed documents exposing private information, she has gone completely quiet. Remember, she was the one who fought for a protective order. She was the one who gloated about protecting privacy. And she was the one who then violated that very principle, dumping sensitive details into the public record. It was her mistake. And the judge made it clear, she alone had to clean it up. Then came the fire, literally. Reports surfaced of one of her fans attempting to set a fire and kidnap Steve Sorowitz's daughter. With that chilling reality brought to the court's attention, Blake suddenly stopped. No more theatrics, no more flurries of filings, nothing but silence. This moment is critical in any lawsuit. Once the discovery deadline hits, you either have the evidence or you don't. 8 months into this case, Blake still cannot prove she was smeared. And without evidence, a lawsuit collapses. You can scream, you can posture, but without proof, you lose. And this is where the arrogance of her team backfired. Once boasting about evidence, they couldn't wait to share. Their recent letters to the judge read more like desperate cries, blaming others for not complying with discovery, as though the absence of evidence could be excused. But excuses don't win trials. Justin Baldoni and the Wayfair parties saw their opportunity, and they took it. In responding to Isabella Ferrer's situation, they turned the spotlight back on Blake. Wayfair's message was clear. The rules have changed. No more name-calling, no more vitriol, no more abuse of the docket. A new order has been set. If Blake violates it, contempt charges await. And here's the twist. Baldoni's team pointed directly to violations already committed. In Isabella's opposition, they told the court plainly, "This attorney violated your order." That's not just a casual remark. That's a warning shot. If the judge agrees, sanctions could fall directly on Blake's side. The irony cuts deep. Isabella was not pulled into this by Baldoni. She was pulled in by Blake herself. It was Blake who named her as a witness. It was Blake who subpoenaed her. Yet now, Isabella's camp tries to paint Baldoni as a harasser for attempting to serve her. His response? Sharp and deliberate. If Isabella doesn't want to be part of this, fine. Drop her. But if she's out entirely. No testimony, no evidence, nothing. The move forces Blake's hand. If she insists on keeping Isabella, she risks exposing the truth, the communications, the manipulation, the lies. If she lets Isabella go, she loses the witness she once claimed would bolster her case. Either way, Blake is cornered. Behind the mystery lies a simple, devastating reality. Blake has lost her ability to abuse the court docket. She has lost her ability to weaponize subpoenas. And without evidence, she is standing in a courtroom with empty hands. The silence is telling. For someone who thrived on noise, PR, and manipulation, the quiet may be her loudest defeat yet. The storm she thought she controlled is no longer hers to command. And as Justin Baldoni and the Wayfair parties hold their ground, the haunting question remains. How much longer can Blake Lively pretend this lawsuit is winnable before the entire illusion collapses? Don't miss the next headline. Like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell